Well, I've invested in some new tools, and today's video is to test out the new tools that I got. So let's start off here with the main attraction, M18 Milwaukee Impact. 1,400 foot-pounds of loosening torque. This is going to be really interesting. I really actually wanted the stubby, but it only had 250 foot-pounds, and I'm like, hey, the main reason for this is to get those rusty high torque bolts off, especially on front suspension. If I had this for my front suspension work that I was doing a couple years ago, it would have made my life way easier. This would take care of things that have broken breaker bars in my past. So this is an investment, and I went with the Milwaukee. I was kind of debating between Milwaukee, Makita, and DeWalt, and I ended up going with Milwaukee in the end. I think it did have the best torque spec, but this should be overkill for my needs. That's my hope. We've got the charger for the battery. We've got our battery here, which is the 5, medium-sized battery. That should be perfect for me. I got all new Impact sockets. These are metrics from Gearwrench. I will order the SAE version of these as well if I need them. I'm thinking the metric will take care of most things on this truck. And then we have a new torque wrench from Lexivon. I thought it looked nice. It goes from 10 foot-pounds to 150. It's your manual adjustment, and reviews were fairly good on it, and I needed a new torque wrench, so we've got that as well. Okay, so here's our charger. Here's our battery. That flashing light, which I read in the owner's manual, means that the battery is faulty. So right out of the gate, we are dead in the water. And since it's Saturday, I just called customer service, and they're not going to be able to be in the office until Monday, so we are stuck until then. Well, breaking news, we have a battery that's charging now. I really had to mess with it, but apparently I got it right. Must have been a alignment issue or something in there. This thing's probably going to be real finicky like that every time, so that's a little concerning. It took me about 20 tries, and I finally got a battery that's charging, so I'm not going to touch it. Anyways, we're salvaging the weekend for now. Here's a look at our Gearwrench sockets. First impression is very good. These just look to be really durable, really high quality. The appearance of them, they look like they can withstand the torque from an impact, and that's exactly what I was going for. We've also got a bunch of new sizes. A lot of these larger sizes I don't have, so not sure if we'll encounter any 29 or 30 millimeter sockets, but we've got some new sizes that it's good to know that we have them if we need them. Okay, here's our new torque wrench. I just tested it out. Works great. It's got the manual adjust on the bottom. Seems to be a very good quality unit, and it was not very expensive either. And then to adjust your torque, you just twist this counterclockwise, make your adjustment, then twist this clockwise, and there you have it. Works out quite well. I just set it to 12 foot-pounds, which is the torque spec on a 47RE transmission pan bolt, and that was one of the main reasons why I got this, since I stripped 2 bolts last time I did a trans oil change. So 12 foot-pounds is at the almost at the very low end of this, but it still works perfectly for it, so that's great. All right, so here we got our wrench ready to go. I've got the 22 mil on here with the adapter for these special star shaped lug nuts that we have, so we're going to try and do a tire rotation today, and we'll just see how it goes. What's cool about this wrench is that, number one, it's got a flashlight, which is on right now, but it's daylight, so. And then we've got 4 settings for torque and speed, and that last setting there gives you a maximum torque. And then when it detects that the bolt is broke loose, then it gives you, it slows it down to the lowest setting so that you can remove the bolt the rest of the way in a controlled manner. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be what we're going to use for the lug nuts. Now, obviously, this thing is capable of doing much more than a tire rotation, but for testing today, we're starting off with tire rotation. Both trucks need to get their tires rotated. So let's go ahead and set the camera up here and see what happens. All right, fire and hold. Perfect. Wow. I actually had these on pretty tight. Nice. It's working well. I think it would be better if we didn't have to use the adapter. I think it would just whip them right off. That's working great. Okay, now we're gonna try tightening. Now I'm using the low torque setting for this, because you gotta be careful with tightening. That's really all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back with the torque wrench and actually do the torque spec. So we'll test the torque wrench out too. Okay, we got the torque wrench set up with an extension on it. Got the same 22 mil and the adapter. And one thing I can tell you is torque spec for these wheels, 135 foot-pounds. I don't think I was doing 135 in my pre-torque wrench pass when I was just using the tire iron for this. I was probably maybe 120. This seems tight enough that I actually had to lower the tire onto the ground, put a little bit of weight on it. The jack's still supporting most of the weight of the truck. Oh man. So, these are tight, as you can tell. But torque wrench is working great though. All right, that's where I'm gonna conclude the video. I'm not gonna do the other truck today. I've been having issues with my back and stuff like that. I really shouldn't have been out wrestling with tires, but the Impact made life as easy as possible for this job, and that's exactly what I need right now. So, pretty happy with how the tools turned out. Everything worked great, and I'm looking forward to using them on projects in the future. Well, I was just kidding about only doing one truck. And I'm doing it with full torque all the way. It's actually better this way. See what I mean? Take it off with ease. All right, that's it.